Hey everybody, welcome back to Poor Man's Guitar. It's been a while since I've made a video. The reasons been busy with the band and I've had to learn and do a whole bunch of stuff in the last few months, so it was kind of hard to do videos and it was also a bit of a protest against YouTube too and the crap they did against smaller channels and stuff. Like, I don't make money or anything like that from this stuff, but point is I feel people like that, and I just think YouTube. I don't know why. Here's a little tangent before we start, but I mean, I don't know why YouTube does not do first come, first serve. That's how it should be. If I make a video first of something, let's example a game walkthrough, when you search that game walkthrough, I should be the top of the list as far as the search go. I was the first guy to do it. I mean, I could tell you stories of small channels that have done things first, and then a guy with, like, say 5 million subscribers goes and does it months later, and now he's getting more views than any of the small channels. It's just a joke. And another thing, YouTube, if you actually sit and look at YouTube, it only has, like, for example, 1 million original videos, but yet there's 2 billion videos. How is that? How can that be if there's only 1 million original videos? Because everybody keeps chopping up these million original videos in a bunch of pieces everywhere, and then they go, hey, look at my video, this is my original video. I mean, it's getting pretty crazy. So their whole algorithm should be first come, first serve, and if everybody demanded this, then that's the way it'd be. Because I hate to say it, but I will bet only the big channels give 5% of everything on YouTube as far as the populace goes, if they even do that. But anyways, let's get back to what we should be doing here. Okay, now I'm going to presume you've went through all the other lessons, previous, the intermediate, beginner, whatever level you're at. But now that there's been time since I've made last videos, if you've gone through these lessons, you should be pretty proficient with your finger movements, modal patterns per se, some scales, whatever. I'm sure you've gone and done things on your own too, because that's the best way to learn is do research yourself too. Just don't rely on some guy in a video. But what I'm going to do today, now that we have all this stuff underneath us, is what do we do with it? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pentatonic patterns, the 5-shape pentatonic patterns they call it, and there'll be a diagram up here somewhere, obviously. So what you need to do is kind of study it and study the connections. So I mean, for example, I'm going to do the first pattern here, so make sure we're turned up. Turned up there. Okay, so here's the first pattern, right? We're starting on A, by the way, so we're going to go. So everybody has seen that pattern, right? The A minor pentatonic scale, and then it can also be, you can turn it into a major if you needed to or whatever, but that's neither here nor there right now. So, but anyways, so that's it. So now you'll have your next shape. So basically we started here on the A, right? And then, so you're going to go, and then we're going to skip these 2 notes, as you can see, and we're going here to the C, right? Okay, so now it's like the modals. These are based from modals and scales, okay? So now that we've done that, our next pattern is going to be here. So all you're doing, you remember how with the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, and then the next modal pattern is re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, and then mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, and so forth. Well, same thing here. So we're just going, A, C, right? Or 5, 8, right? Okay, so then we're going to continue the pattern. If you look at the chart, that should be up here. And we're just going to go like this now. We're just going to go. Okay. I kind of got a little mind interrupt there as I was doing it, because I started thinking there's something I should tell you too. Because I notice is what I do and what other people do are a bit different. I use proper fingerings with the pentatonics, okay? Remember I explained that in my other videos. So you'll see a lot of guys, okay, here the fingering's pretty standard, right? You don't really got to move anywhere. But once you come here, a lot of guys are uncomfortable doing and using their babies, okay? Get comfortable using it, because what this is going to do, it's going to get your pinky really strong and really proficient in things it needs to do. Now, once it is like that, you could definitely do this. I need to be in this position for some reason and move over, right? So then you can go. That's just weirder to me, and it's slower. Now, notwithstanding, some people say, well, you got to do bends. And yeah, well, here's the thing. I do bends with my pinky, and I do bends with this. Depending on the situation, my intensity at the time, my energy, if I want to be precise and hit it for sure, I'm definitely using the ring finger, because I've actually slipped the pinky sometimes using it. So yeah, you got to be careful, because when you do the pinky, you kind of got to put all your fingers there to get that pinky. But I would suggest you just do your bends with that finger for now, and then if you have to move it back, like, you know, when you do these here, you know. So really that's out of position, right? I should be here. So really this would be position. So position is always, like I told you, you're always in this frame. This might have to go here, that might have to go there, okay? So you might have to do one of these or something once in a while. So just remember that with the fingerings, okay? So let's just try this again. Okay, so now that we're on the next one, so then we're gonna go. Now again, some guys will probably go. That's weird to me. I actually have to think to do that, because I don't usually play like that. I keep my fingerings. It's only when I have to bend is when I'll switch this up with the pinky. That's really about the only time, because my pinky, I actually think, moves faster than this, believe it or not. So, but anyways, you got to do it, okay? So that was that shape now, right? So now we're on the next one, right? So if you notice, it's each degree we're just going, right? So your first degree, second degree, third, you know what I mean? So, but that's what we're starting. So we start in the first degree here of the pentatonic, the second degree, right? And then our third degree and so forth. So that's all it is, but it's just 5, right? So, yeah, so like I said, just do what I just did there. And now the next one here is, this one's pretty easy. Guys will go, or they might even do this and keep just these 3. Once you get past this 12th fret, you yourself are going to have to figure what fingers work better, because they're no longer the same size as up here. So your finger in position isn't exactly going to hold true anymore, okay? So sometimes I usually keep my 4th to maybe around here. I'll keep positions, right? But once I start getting up here, I got to start using this more as my 4th finger. This is where am I? This is my 3rd finger, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you got to start figuring it out through practice, what actually works better, because it starts getting too tight to do that. You're like clawing your fingers in, right? You don't want to do that. So, but anyways, so now that I showed you those patterns, okay, now what I want you to do with each of these patterns, every 2 steps, just, I want you to go, say down 1 and then go to the next one and go up that one, then go down this one, up to that one, down that one, up to this one, you know what I mean? Or you can continue it up here, it doesn't matter. Okay, so an example. Now we want to go back up the other one. So you get it? So do that with all of them. So, you know. Whoops. See, I'm screwing up already because I'm thinking about these other fingers, but let's try that again. So again, let's try this right from where it was. Okay, so you see how I'm just connecting them all. Okay, so get used to doing that. Now, what you can do is just, let's practice just 2 strings at a time. So we'd be... So just play around with that, and then go up to the next one and try doing the same thing. So you know what I mean? Just start connecting them all the way up to those patterns to start with the next 2 strings per se, you know. See what I mean? How the notes are starting to sound together, right? So you can always go, usually you keep 2 patterns together, and pretty well, no matter what notes you mix in, it's going to sound pretty good. So you'll notice sometimes you might do a bend that's now kind of in unison with a note you were just on. You go, oh, but you'll hear it and you'll go, oh, okay, I just won't do that anymore unless you actually want that sound, right? But otherwise, it's just keep with every 2 shapes and practice just using those 2 shapes. So once you get used to practicing these, move with these 2 shapes. Now, how to practice with them? Well, what I suggest you do is you get a backing track, actually, that I use an A minor backing track that just starts with this A minor, G to F to E, I believe it does. So it's just the measures are longer or whatever during the song itself, but I'll post the track. The track's not mine. I got it, I think, somebody on YouTube. I don't really remember because it was a while ago, but I'm going to presume it was somebody on YouTube. I just typed in tracks or something and then recorded the music on my computer. But yeah, so learn these shapes, and I will put the A minor track in the description. And if it's your track and you see this, I'm sorry, let me know. I'll definitely give you credit for it. It's just been a while since I just don't know where the track came from. I forget, okay? So, yeah, just do that and practice the patterns in here. And oh, and another thing I want you to remember, because some guys, they don't really think sometimes, like, you'd probably catch on, I think, eventually. But remember when the 12th fret is now the open strings, right? So that's the same as that, but octave higher. Okay, so now when you get up here, remember these dots are the same as these dots. So if I'm going, that's the same as going. So remember that when you do transitions per se from pitches. So you could be soloing up here and C, and then all of a sudden I want to take it down here and get some higher octave sounds or something. So you can even practice doing that, mixing the notes up, like playing half this, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, example. Do you know what I mean? How I'm mixing them? You get familiar with the different tones and sounds, and then you can do that with all of them. Okay, so that's it. I hope I didn't gab too much, and I'm glad to be back, and I'm hoping I'm going to hear from old people that were on here or not. I don't know if you're still there, but if you are, great. Thank you for checking this out again, and I'll be doing some more videos, and in the next video I'm going to be doing a solo now that's going to be implementing everything I showed you. So I'm going to start off with what I consider them easy solos if you've gone through my previous lessons. You should be at this point where you're able to do this now. Okay, so maybe the only thing I didn't really get particular on with things might be bends or something, whatever. But maybe I'll go through that after one of the solos or something like that. Okay? Anyways, thanks for watching and take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye from Canada.